So the last few weeks it's been mountain, mountain, and more mountain, inside and out. But if we want Darth Vader and his band of snowtrooper thugs to invade Echo Base, we gotta finish these hallways. So let's go!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Hoth MOC. In the past few weeks we've definitely been focusing a lot more on Echo Base and this side of the MOC, and that's just because, well, actually most of the scenes take place inside the Echo Base interior portion of Hoth. Not a lot is going on out here. I know it's where all the fighting's happening, but as far as scenes go, most of the scenes actually take place inside Echo Base itself. For example, our control room, the medical bay scene, various happenings inside the hangar bay, including repairs, Han Solo telling people to go to hell, all the important scenes and stuff mostly goes on inside Echo Base. So that's why we've been focusing a lot on Echo Base recently. So today we are going to be building this beautiful corridor here, and we're definitely going to be doing a bunch of cool stuff. So don't forget to stick around to the end of the video, because that's when we add the minifigures. And today we're going to be adding some pretty interesting minifigures, at least as far as the rest of the MOC goes. So don't forget to stick around to the end to watch that. But as far as right now, we're going to get building. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to be doing here, Leaky's definitely going to be working on a different section here, is I've got to make a window so we can see into the control center here, but also make it look kind of stylized. So basically, like what we did over here at the medical bay, or what we did over here at the Wampa Cave, which is actually, at this point in time, my favorite part of the MOC. Because this thing is sweet. It's definitely a nice little feature. You don't really expect it to be there. You just see this mountain off to the side by the battles, and then you just see this nice little cut-in for the Wampa Cave. It's definitely a nice little feature, and that's exactly what we're going to try to emulate over here, is have a nice little door in here, and so we can look through and see the peeps.
So assistant, everybody says that we don't have enough people in the command center.
Yes, we're definitely gonna have to add some more. It was definitely very crowded.
I gotta remember to look for the actual Torin Farr.
Yeah, and then we can have her just like standing off in the corner.
Yeah, she can be another person.
So that will be a definite improvement in the future here. But anyway, let's get working on the cut-in to view into the command center. All right, so there we have it. There's the wall built up here. And I didn't really give you guys any progress updates because it's, well, very simple. It is just a nice two little cutouts here. So when you're walking along, you got to imagine that's how you're going to be viewing the bays here. So I'm not exactly sure if this is going to work out. I might maybe push this up one and then lower this in a little bit so you actually can see more of the base here, but it might work. We still have the view from the top, so I think that's why I'm thinking now it might work, but if we do get just limited down to these guys, we might have to expand this up a little bit. What do you think, Leaky?
I like it. I like it. I always like your designs, how it looks. This looks a lot better than what I did over here, because it looks just naturally cut.
Well, this looks like a cut into the medical bay itself. We're going to do some work on the medical bay in the future here.
Yes, but you did a lot of layering in here that I like. It looks like it was literally like naturally cut out of snow.
Yes, and it's just supposed to be, obviously in the real world this would be filled in, but it's just so we actually can see our guys working around
it's a cutaway
and stuff. Speaking of over here, I did want to discuss the medical bay a little bit. I wanted to make this a little surgery room, have a door, have some other stuff work going on back here, and then really fill in areas over here. So don't worry, there are stuff coming before we just put a roof over it. So all good things in the future. You just have to stay tuned.
Now that assistant has kind of finished the opening there, I'm going to do a little more groundwork, because obviously people are walking in and out of the command center, and there's all kinds of snowtroopers rushing in through here. So I'm going to do a little more ground Greeble right through here.
Greeble, Greeble. Greeble, Greeble.
All right, so I built the little entrance Greeble, and I'm leaving this area very, oh boy, I just killed a rebel trooper. It's gonna be really hard for them to fight battles if I kill all of them with my shaky, leaky hands. So as I was saying, I'm leaving the path itself that the little troop transport is on pretty clear of debris because people aren't walking there. So this is kind of the little path between the area where all of the guys are working and walking into the command center room, which now has this cool front entrance on it, even though we'll be able to look down from inside. So that's what I did there. That's the Greeble I've added. I have to figure out if I'm going to extend this into there. I probably will. But for right now, I need to build this corridor. So like I did with these corridors, I actually built the entire corridor off MOC, if you will, outside the MOC. So I'm going to do the same here. And you'll notice they are 2 studs up. So I build a panel base of the corridor and then I cover it with white panels on top. So first thing I have to do is count to see how long this corridor is going to be. And this is going to be a turn in the corridor, a lot like here when we're looking in the Wampa room. So this has to kind of have a curve going around the corner. They have to figure it off the outside. I'm going to put the curve. Probably not. This is just going to be open, but there'll be a little curve on the inside. So let me build the corridor first. It's going to be from here to here, which is 34 studs long. That's how long this corridor is going to be. And again, I'm going to use hinge bricks so it curves right into this corridor. So let's build the corridor off MOC. Okay, first things first, we have to build a 32 by 12 panel. That'll be the underside of the corridor. So we are going to do that in hyperlapse mode. So let's lay it out first. So that is the width. Now we have to do the length of the corridor hallway. So let's switch over to hyperlapse mode and get that done. Okay, now that we have the frame laid out, now comes the tricky part. To lay in the other colored bricks and connect them, build the whole thing together. So let's get to it. All right, so here is our 12 by 34 corridor piece. And now we are gonna build kind of the corner structures of this. The front and back are gonna be open. Actually, we are gonna have the little tile pieces on the front. The back is going to be laying up against where the windows are for the command center. So the first thing we have to do is build up this corner so it connects right into the corridor that is around the corner. All right, so I have to build the back part of this up because there's a little gap here once it's laid on the board. Then we also have to add pieces up to make this equal. All right, we have to do the same this way. And this will connect when we put it on when we put it back on the MOC. Right in here is going to be the doorway, and it's going to be similar to the other doorways on the Hoth MOC. All right, so here is the doorway, just like before. We use the stud technique, and it nicely lines up right in the corner there. So there's the entry point. Now we have to do the same on this side. Okay, and one extra thing I added in this corridor that I didn't put in the other ones was studs to hold some signals or alarm bells, because this corridor, unlike the other ones, is going to have snow troopers storming down it with Darth Vader. So, and then I wanted to have the little door switch, just like we had in the Wampa Cave. Boy, that's a weird angle. So on the other side, I am going to put the little alarm bells alerting that
Imperial troops have entered the base. Imperial troops have entered.
So there we go. And then the last little bit of detail I'm going to put on is just capping off the ends with the tiles. There we go. All right. So now we have to decorate the floor, just like the other ones. We're going to have a couple of heating units, things like that, and we're going to decorate the floor just like we did with the other corridors. Corridor, corridor, corridor. All right, I'll stop saying it. Jeez. So let's decorate some floor. All right, so here is all the detail on the floor. And we have some Greeble.
Greeble.
You had to leave room for the heating units. So, you know, we can keep the guys warm and also melt Princess Leia's clothes. But there was a commenter that asked, are we going to do Princess Leia's chambers where her clothes get all wet? And I just don't see a point to that. Assistant is here with me. What do you think, Assistant? Should we make a little room where Princess Leia's clothes are washed out? They don't show in the movie, they just mention it. And she's already chastising C-3PO and R2-D2.
What do you mean, like her personal chambers?
Yeah, her personal chambers is, she was like, it was too cold in my chambers. And they put heaters in there, and all the snow melted and got her clothes all wet. And it's just an offhand line in the movie. And some people are like, oh, you should show her chambers in Hoth.
We don't have room for that.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's put this corridor on the MOCS, see how it looks.
All right, so we're back in the corridor, and Leaky has it got put together.
Yep, I'm ready to put this on the board. It should fit like a glove.
Sure does.
There we go, and yes, nice and sealed.
What about over here? That's tidy.
Tight, and then we got to put them our Greeble.
And you got to remember that these little cutaways here are not like in the real world. They would be filled in. That's just so we can see back into our control
I
panel.
kind of eyeballed where these little details go, and I pretty much nailed it. I think I'm a genius. What do you think, Assistant?
Very good looking. It matches the rest of our hallways here, and eventually we will do this corner. It's a little this.
Yep.
For the future.
Yeah, this corner is for the future. But you know, I did a little corner area there. I
good.
Used hinge pieces like they do in the real, like if I was a real Lego maker.
Yeah, if you're a real Lego maker.
Yep.
But yeah, now we can look in to the hallways there through
And
our
see
tracks.
our fake Torn Far and General Rican and Princess Leia.
Yeah, all sorts of neat things, and that's where the camera is in the movie. They're kind of like, oh, the control room.
Well, I think it's like the ion cannon. You gotta fire the ion cannon.
Yes.
I don't think we can support 2 transports at the same time, but we gotta risk it.
I will say I do like the way that this hallway looks here. The hallway vents match all the way down the line here, so it looks really good. So it flows really good, but it's coming along.
So, Assistant, I wanted to show you something that I added in this hallway that is not in this hallway. So this is the hallway where we're gonna have snow troopers and Darth Vader. So it's like, you know, when they say the Imperial troops have entered the base. So I've added these kind of red lights at the top to alert. And this part actually opens. This is actually an opening. These are just corridors. Maybe they all open, but then you gotta, you know, press the button. And if you look around out here, you can't have a button on the inside without one on the outside.
Very, very clever.
So it's just those little extra details that I hope
I do,
folks will appreciate.
and there's this machine here. There's all sorts of stuff.
Oh yes, yes. But this is where Darth Vader and the snowtroopers are going to stream out
into Echo Base.
Yep, and maybe these guys will just run them over.
I suppose. Well, this is more like we're trying to show the scene after the Millennium Falcon's like, you know, and out of here.
Yep, it's kind of we break the space-time continuum
a little bit. But anyway, that's going to be it for the build portion of the video. Everything turned out really good today. Of course, we got some stuff to work on in the future, but that's what makes it nice and good to keep watching weekly. But for now, we got to add some minifigures to the board.
So we got some choices to make, Assistant. Like I don't know if we quite want to put snowtroopers down yet. The command center could use more folk.
Yes.
What do you think? What should we do?
I am really leaning towards more Rebel Troopers. We did a pretty big minifigure last week, so I'm not really too eager to get into anything else. I kind of want to have a guy, another fellow like walking in through here, and then maybe a new guy in our hallway, perhaps.
Well, the only thing about this hallway is this is going to be a little too meta if we have Rebel Troopers and Snowtroopers.
That is true.
So what I wanted to do in the future is have like the one Rebel Trooper realizes he's not in the space-time continuum. We don't have to do this today, but all the other Rebel Troopers are going to be like running down here, and he's going to be like, "Hey guys, they're right there." But that's for later. So I'm thinking no Rebel Troopers in this corridor.
I agree. So where else do you think we need some?
Well, this is really empty of troopers.
It sure is.
We need some guys like working on the speeders and kind of working on this junk here.
So yeah, there is just a ton of open space over here by our snow speeders. So I do like that idea. Let's grab some Rebel troops here. Probably, I'd say, I don't know. Three, yeah.
Little fellas. And these guys are not going to be armed, right?
No, they're not going to be armed.
Let me set them up so you can peruse them. Who we got here?
One of them is missing a hand.
Oh, it was still attached to his gun.
Oh dear.
I literally just maimed him.
This is horrible news. I cannot believe.
Well, you know, one thing, speaking of maimed troopers, we've gotten a lot of requests to have them like out dying in the field.
Oh dear.
We got some really, some heartless viewers.
Yeah, I see. I don't know why you guys want to see the violence amongst the Empire. They're just doing their job. They're recruits. The letter came up in the draft. It's just how they are. They're victims, the snowtroopers. You shouldn't want to see them slaughtered.
No, not the snowtroopers. Like Rebel troopers, like guys that got shot.
That's even more cruel. They're trying to save the. This is before any.
But they do have a point. If the walker is this close, there would be some guys that were dead.
Yes.
So we'll have to think about that in the future.
Yes, well, we already have some violence here.
Yeah, some horrific snowtrooper violence. But he had that coming.
For today, we're definitely not going to have any violent incidences here. So what do you think? Where should we have these guys? I want to have them just mingering about.
Well, we probably have one more guy kind of working on the speeder. Like, I don't know if we have any more wrenches.
Yeah, I definitely
That's a lady. I called that a guy. I apologize.
I definitely can grab like an oil can or something.
Oh, there we go, an oil can. And I think there always should be a guy kind of working on these things. Just making sure they're,
making sure everything is in order,
in tip-top shape,
for sure.
And then maybe just a guy like walking, like here.
Have him just on a stroll while the base is under attack.
Well, he's on his way to doing something.
Well, yeah,
I'm not sure what.
It's like Mordecai and Rigby from Regular Show. They're always doing something. It's for the betterment of the whole. I like it. So just to recap here, we had a figure right there with the lady working on the speeder, a man adjusting something with the fuel module there, and then a fella out for a stroll. All sorts of good figures today, at least in my opinion. What do you guys think?
It doesn't look as empty,
No, it doesn't. Because now we're getting like there's a guy there, There's people. There's all sorts of movement on Echo Base proper. And we also got people out in the distance over there. So when you actually go in and look at the MOC, you can see that there is movement and people around doing
activity.
All sorts of good and nice activities all around Echo Base, which is what we like to see. But anyway, that's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And if you have any suggestions for where we should put minifigures in the future, don't forget to let us know. We're also got other stuff like Discord and Instagram. You should probably check that out too as well. But anyway, that's going to do it for today.
Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe.
Yep. Well, you obviously have to subscribe because we're going to come back next week with an awesome video. You don't want to miss it. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. And I will see you in the next one.